I've owned these Craftsman screwdrivers for 30 years. I never think about them. I mean, who thinks about a screwdriver? But if you look at the handles, well, that's a complicated shape, and it lets you do a lot. It's comfortable to hold, but it won't roll off your bench, and you can turn it one-handed or use both hands, and you get a couple of different grips. That's a good design. Let's look closer. The classic Craftsman screwdriver handle has 3 big features that make it work. First, it's got channels in the sides. These don't just keep it from rolling, they also give you more grip. Next, the tool has a narrow waist where the handle meets the steel. The waist is a natural place to grip. Look how those curves match up. You get control for one-handed use and an easy place to grip it with your other hand for faster driving. And at the other end, there's the pommel with this squashed round shape. It doesn't just give the tool a comfortable end, it lets you rotate the handle against your palm for those times where you need to turn while pushing hard. Of course, these handles are plastic, and they've been plastic for a long time. And plastic gives you a lot of design freedom. You could never make this shape out of wood. Unless you can, and actually nothing about this shape is new or modern. My name's Rex, this is Tool Stories, and the design for this handle goes back over 150 years. Back to before screwdrivers really existed. Back to woodworking chisels. In the 1800s, the center of the tool-making universe was Sheffield, England. This is where the best steel, the finest manufacturing, and the newest designs came together to make tools that people still use today. In those days, the cutting-edge handle design was the London pattern, which had a round pommel, 8 flat sides, and a narrow waist for a controlled grip. You found the London pattern on the best chisels. And right at this time, the screwdriver was also becoming a serious tool. Before the 19th century, screws were rare and handmade, and there was little market for a dedicated tool just to turn them. A craftsman would just make a simple tool called a turn screw out of whatever was around. This one was made from an old file, but machine-made screws were getting cheaper, and craftsmen needed something better. And you know what already looks a lot like a screwdriver? A chisel. Might as well just take whatever's working about this and apply it straight to the screwdriver. Early screwdrivers had simple handles, and they look a little odd. Why is there this big flat spot on the blade? Because when you have a tough screw, that flat spot gives you something you can grip with a pair of pliers to get more torque. And those early smooth handles, they're not grippy enough. The London pattern chisel handle already has flat sides to increase friction. What if we just tried that? Check out this electrician's turn screw and compare it to a London pattern chisel handle. They've both got flats, a narrow waist, and a round pommel. They're basically the same. The London pattern handle is comfortable and elegant, but it won't do heavy turning. Turns out I own an electrician's turn screw with a London pattern handle. I found it while I was researching this video, and I see why workers chose something like this for delicate screws in hard-to-reach locations. That London pattern handle gives you a lot of control. You're not gonna snap a screw or mess up that slot head by mistake. And these flats, they're a lot better than a smooth handle. You get better grip, but not enough grip for a heavy screw or a stuck screw. For that, you're gonna need a little bit more. And while they were trying to give workers more grip, toolmakers tried some wacky stuff. In 1931, Emerson Warner patented a process for coating screwdriver handles in lacquer and then basically rolling them in sand. He called it, and I cannot make this up, the grippy grip handle. If this sounds like a dumb idea, it probably was, because the grippy grip was introduced in 1931 and pulled from the market in 1932. To create the best handle, makers tried all sorts of textures, grips, and finishes, but in the end, they used something very basic. For centuries, woodworkers have cut round channels into wood. They're called flutes, and if you put them on a flat surface, they're usually decorative. But when you cut them into a round handle, something interesting happens. Of course, you get better grip, but flutes also make a round handle feel smaller. A big handle gives you more torque, but it's uncomfortable. Put some flutes in that big boy and it feels smaller, but you don't lose any mechanical advantage. And how long did it take tool companies to figure this out? Well, weirdly, fluted handles have been there right from the beginning. The fluted handle was patented in 1877, right at the start of the screwdriver industry. If we look back at the catalog with the London pattern handle, right there, on the same page, is a driver with a fluted handle. So why did manufacturers mess around with all these different handle designs? Why bother coating it with sand or etching spirals into it? Because it just takes time for the market to work things out. These days, fluted handles are pretty standard. But you have to get the tools into the working world to see what works. Toolmakers will try anything. Stanley even put a jackknife into the handle of one of its screwdrivers. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? The last big step in handle design was getting rid of wood. As jobs shifted from the workshop to the factory, workers needed a more durable material that wouldn't rot or split. They needed the flutes to stay sharp instead of rounding over. The answer was plastic. Early cellulose acetate plastics could be molded instead of machined. They didn't need finishing, and the handle could be joined to the driver much more securely. And plastics give you design flexibility. Wood can be fragile if you make sharp details or cut across the grain. Plastic lets you make the features you want without the weakness. So the modern screwdriver handle has a little more of everything. The waist is more exaggerated, the flutes are deeper, and the pommel isn't just rounded, it's that squashed ball shape. And it still looks an awful lot like the old London pattern handle. All the details are there. But there has been one big change. The London pattern handle has 8 sides, and the modern Craftsman screwdriver handle only has 6. Why is that? Because bolts have 6 sides. And the reason that matters is if you're using one of these modern screwdrivers and you run into a tough fastener, well, you can just take a standard box wrench that you would use for a nut or a bolt, and it slides right over the handle of that driver to give you that little bit of extra torque. It's just like way back in the early days. Workmen would grab the flat side of their turn screw with a pair of pliers. It seems that no matter how far you go with a design like this, you kind of end up back at the beginning. If you enjoyed this video, check out this other video on the history of raised panels. That's a shape that you've probably seen all around you your whole life, but you don't know where it came from. And the history of where it came from is a lot more interesting than you probably think. Shout out to my friend Abraham Hyatt, who runs the amazing website Working Wooden Planes. Abraham gave me a ton of research help with this video and made it twice as good. Subscribe to Abraham's newsletter. It's amazing. I never miss it. Also, shout out to Walter Jacobs, who wrote an incredible 4-part series on the history of Stanley screwdrivers for the Chronicle of the Early American Industries Association. No, seriously, 4 parts. I'm not kidding. I read all 4 of them. They were great. If you'd like to read Jacob's work and all the other amazing articles that are published in that magazine, you have to become a member of the IAEA, and we will link to them down in the description. And if you liked this video and you want to see more like it, let me know down in the comments. We really want to know what our viewers think. And thanks for watching.